Hey Collective and Soul Tribe, happy Wednesday. It is Wicked Wednesday. Okay, today is March the 18th. We are in the new moon in Pisces. All right, guys. I hope you guys are doing wonderful, having a wonderful day. Anyways, if you're not having a wonderful day, that's okay. But still, let tomorrow be a brand new day for you and, allow yourself to go through these emotions. But at the same time, you want to stay in a high frequency. And, sometimes people don't want to hear this either, right? And I get it. Been there, done that before. So it's easier said than done. But, a lot of times people don't want to be optimistic or, even if life is, taking them down or they feel like life is beating them up, there are people out there who don't like being optimistic or they don't like being positive. They would rather hear negativity all the time, right? And it's not to say that life is not negative. Sometimes it is, okay? So like let's be real. Look what's happening right now. But at the same time, learning to also detach and separate yourself from certain things, not because you don't care, but also your mental health and your mental well-being. You know what I mean, guys? Like a lot of times people don't think about that. They don't take that seriously. And I do truly believe in energy. And the more that you switch your energy, I feel like the more that it starts to slowly, show up in your energy as well. So you could be someone who's very positive, optimistic, despite what's happening during these times. And, even though you can empathize and also sympathize with people, you also have the ability to also separate yourself when the time is necessary. So don't feel bad. Like, don't feel bad if people try to make you feel some type of way because you're just trying to stay in a high frequency and a high level, because you know what that feels like when you don't. And everybody's different. So, somebody may like being in a low vibrational state, but that's not you. Okay, so take what resonates with that, but I'm going to start the reading. Okay, Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective at this time, please? Ooh, that's an ugly shuffle. Let me try that again. Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective at this time, please? Thank you. That's better. What does the collective need to know for March 18th? What clarity and understanding can you give them at this time, please? And thank you. What do they need to know? What does the collective need to know for March 18th on their journey? Okay, thank you. So, what are the odds that we are in a new moon in Pisces and we have cosmic flow, water energy, okay? So this could be Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, but anyone else who resonates with this, whether you have these placements in your chart, this could be energetically with the collective. There's something about going with the cosmic flow, okay? So, allowing yourself to trust the divine when it comes to seasons. Now, this could be seasons changing, meaning, us transitioning from winter to spring, okay, getting closer to that, shift. For some of you guys too, this could be also you, okay? So this could be metaphorically, right? It doesn't have to be like physically, but I always do say that a lot of us don't realize how connected we are with the moon cycles and also with nature, right? Sometimes I feel like we should listen to our bodies as well when it comes to that. And that's why when I say listen to your intuition, it's not even just about the mind only. This could be your stomach, okay? Your gut will tell you things before your mind does. And, that's, butterflies, that gut feeling, things like that, right? So even when it comes to like your situation, just like how seasons change, the seasons go through their periods of changes. There's spring, there's fall, there's winter, there's summer. Okay, summer you see, the weather's nicer, there's growth. Trees look amazing, flowers look amazing, the bees are buzzing, the dragonflies are out, things like that, right? And then you get to fall and you realize things are starting to die out, right? And then you get to winter and things are totally dead. Nothing is moving. Okay, everything's in a standstill. It's almost like being like in a waiting room. And you're just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And then the door opens and you're like, "Ooh, finally." And then they call the next person and you're just like, "What are we doing?" Until it's finally your turn, which is spring, okay, after the winter. So same with the weather changing and going through cycles, that could be your life. You could have periods of growth, you could have periods of stillness, you could have periods of things just not being the way it's supposed to be, right? But take what resonates with that. Growth is significant though when it comes to spring and summer energy, okay? Also the color red and also green. So there's something about you stopping, right? Taking a standstill, stopping, pausing, going within. Introspection is also significant. But then once you see things are growing, it's almost like getting that green light to go ahead and, you know, move forward. So take what resonates with that, right? But yeah, present time is significant. There's something about divine timing. So there's something about you being present in this moment, or, you know, when it comes to the present time, there's something about your energy, right? Change is very significant too. So there's something about changes happening at this time. Now, I did talk about the new moon, right? And there's something about moon cycles. Like I said this when it comes to change. I already said this with the seasons card. I said, when it comes to change, you guys are connected to the seasons and you guys are connected to the moon cycle. Okay, so changes are very significant at this time. Some of you guys could feel these changes coming in, okay, during this present moment. Some of you may not, but you guys could see it. So for some of you guys, it may be a little bit different. You guys could be seeing the change. Some of you guys are feeling the change, but you know, whatever this is, you guys are going within, okay? And this is giving confirmation when it comes to introspection. You guys are going in introspection. You guys are going within. You guys are understanding yourselves more, right? And I always talk about this too. The more that you understand yourself, the more you understand what it is that you truly desire, or what fulfills you, or what makes you happy, right? And not everybody will understand that, because your path might be different from other people, okay? So I'm going to see what else shows up in the message. So yeah, something about you guys following your beacon. There's something about you following your light. You following your light is you following your bliss. You following your bliss is what makes you happy, okay? That's your truth. But ignorance is bliss as well, right? So it's almost like a lot of people may be very ignorant towards your bliss, and maybe questioning your bliss, like, why are you so happy? Or why are you so, you know, bubbly? Or why are you so whatever, right? And you don't really care. You're just following what you know you're supposed to follow. So it's almost like you guys go within, you guys have introspection within yourself, whether this is daily, monthly, okay, weekly, hourly, okay? Some people are different, right? Everybody has a different way of, you know, going within. But every time you go within yourself, and each time you sit down with yourself and say to yourself, okay, this is what I like, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to move forward in my life, the more that you follow that inner bliss, that happiness, or what fulfills you, the more that you shine. Okay, shining your energy could be significant too when it comes to you shining light, you know, on people, shining light on situations, shining light in general, right? Shining your light also allows people to be more optimistic. Like I said, if you're somebody who's very happy-go-lucky, you may be helping people without realizing it. Yeah, a lot of people may not like you being the happy-go-lucky person, but you being happy-go-lucky is helping somebody who needs that energy at this present moment. It's almost like this present moment, you're bringing a lot of change, okay? You're allowing people to go within and shine. Whatever that shining is, they're doing what makes them happy, okay? So take what resonates with that. That could be confirmation too. We have persona. So yeah, there's something about you changing in this present time. Your persona could be very significant. There's something also about your persona where people may feel like, as each season changes, it's almost like your persona changes, but you're not. As each season change, you were still in your persona, meaning you were still present in your entity, your energy, your soul, your being. You were always present. Okay, so there's almost like this energy of, even right now, it's like you guys could be in introspection, but then it's almost like you're still present. It's almost like you can still go out. So you ever, thought of maybe like a bird's eye view? Like, you ever had those situations where you were present in a moment, but you can literally zoom out, okay, from like a bird's eye view, perspective, and basically see things basically how you're viewing, like how my camera is up here, right, and you're viewing down there, it's basically the same thing. It's like you guys are basically zooming in on certain things and understanding that, right? Some of you guys are in this playful energy as well. Mushrooms could be very significant, but some of you guys could be in a very playful energy, or you guys are changing, you know, to be in this playful energy. But whatever this is, you guys could have a very, you know, giddy, playful type of personality. Giddy, not in a bad way, but more of like you have basically like a switch. Like you can turn it on and off, and it depends on certain, you know, certain people's energies that are around you. So there is this energy where you are happy-go-lucky, you are playful, but you know when and where to be playful and how to be playful, and you can read the room and read the energy, and that's very significant. So take what resonates with that. Even when it comes to like change too, there's something about being more playful and, you know, tapping more into that. And that could be different for a lot of people. You know, for everybody who, you know, taps into their inner child, there's some people who are already tapped in and they've never changed. Despite through all the obstacles that they've gone through, they've never changed. They stay the same. When it comes to their inner child, doesn't mean that they're immature, but it means that they can go to the movies by themselves. They can go and paint. They can create. They can do whatever. Right? And you may have other people in your energy while you're focusing on play and focusing on your inner child and focusing on what makes you happy. You could have other people saying things like, oh, why is the collective not talking to me? Or why is the collective this? Or, you know, what happened to the collective? And you're just like, I'm just focusing on me. Yeah, the whisper. There's something about listening to your inner knowing, right? Introspection is significant, like I said. There's something about following your inner knowing, following your, you know, inner guidance, things like that. Okay, but there's something about, like I said, light in the dark. Okay, maybe you shining light on certain situations. You being the light in dark situations is also significant as well. Even when it comes to personas, there's something about you showing up in your authenticity. So it's not like you guys are showing up in a persona. That is who you are. But people who don't know you think that you have a persona. But that's just who you are, right? The people who don't know you think it's a persona because they've never really gotten the chance to go deep or go within when it comes to you and the connection. A lot of people lately are very surface level, have been surface level, and you're someone who's not surface level. You like to get into the nitty gritty, not because you want to know people's business, but you enjoy talking about death, life, okay, rebirths, transformations, okay, why the world is the way it is, okay, why society is the way it is. Society is, you know, in a certain way that some people feel like they can create and some people feel like they can't. Why does the mind work the way that it does? Like, you guys could have a lot of ways of thinking, right? So yeah, following your bliss is very significant when it comes to you listening to your inner knowing. Okay, light in the dark is very significant when it comes to you following your bliss. Your bliss and your beacon is what makes you happy. Not what Tom, Dick, and Harry, what they want to do. Okay, what you want to do and how you show up is what makes you happy. So if you want to, you know, eat bacon for breakfast for some reason and, you know, eat it for dinner, that's your prerogative. You know what I mean? Like little things like that in life, like just having little tiny steps moving forward of freedom. You know, if you feel like you want to eat a steak for breakfast, then eat a steak for breakfast. You know what I mean? Like, it's just certain things where people feel like because somebody says something, it holds truth. And sometimes it does, but sometimes, yeah, you do got to question some things. I do that. Right? I don't take everything that I see for face value. Sometimes I do question certain things if I feel like I need to question it. I don't question it out loud, but in my mind I go, I wonder what that's about, or I wonder what that means, or, you know, let me Google it, or let me do some research. That is my energy. But not everybody questions certain things. A lot of people just take things for face value, and what they see, they just take that. But sometimes it's not about what you see. Sometimes it's also about energy, right? So yeah, you guys are helping your future self at this time when it comes to lending yourself a helping hand, okay? Inner child at the bottom of the deck, okay? I wish I was, you know, lying to you guys, but it's right here, okay? Inner child at the bottom of the deck. You following your inner knowing, you following your inner compass when it comes to you making your inner child happy. This could be healing trauma. This could be, you know, your creativity. If people told you that you couldn't do something or you shouldn't do something, or, you know, you'll never be this, or whatever they say, right? Instead of using that energy and sitting down and getting mad, instead transmute that energy, alchemize that energy, right? You know how people like to hear negative comments sometimes? Like people will say negative things to them and that just fuels them. That kind of energy. Okay, not to say that, you're going out your way, but there are some people out there that they can take negativity. Why? Because they can transmute that and alchemize that energy into something positive and make topics and talk about these things, etc. Not everybody can do that though. So take what resonates with that when it comes to you helping yourself, listening to your guidance, okay? Even when it comes to like your dreams or even angel numbers, synchronicities, whatever it is, the universe is talking to you. They're speaking to you, whether this is through other people, whether this is other tarot readers, whether this is people you meet on the street randomly, whether this is a grocery store or you're just, pumping gas, just randomly at your job, okay? Just randomly, like places that you don't think that people will show up, and the universe will test you to see either did you learn that lesson or are you ready for a new assignment? Okay, and that depends on your perspective and how you look at it. So yeah, take what resonates with that, guys. You guys could be healing your inner child, helping your inner child in many ways without realizing it. And your inner child could be very happy and gleeful and delighted at this moment, because whatever you weren't able to do then, you're able to do that now. You have that freedom to do that now. So why not do it? Why not play? you know so, anyways, I'll leave it here. Thank you guys. I love you guys. Follow me on TikTok and YouTube. My website is www.mysteriouslyunique.ca. You guys can check out my blog and also book a reading. All right, guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you for the love and the support. I always will show gratitude no matter how much videos I post, okay? Even if I sound like a broken record, I don't care. All right? I will gladly show gratitude. All right, guys? Because, again, it's about energy, right? So what I put out there and what I get back, it's all love, right? So I appreciate that, guys, and thank you, okay? But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. I love you guys and have a wonderful Wednesday. Bye, guys.